Wait, let's see if I do this with, nope. The orientation is blocked. I wonder if that's just like on my phone, but whatever. You guys can see me, hopefully. Hi. Um, can you guys hear me? Can you guys just let me know if you can hear me because I want to know if this microphone works. So let me know in the comments if you guys can hear me. Tonight we're talking about hi. Okay, yeah, you can hear me. Hi Desi. Yay. Okay, very cool, very cool. Hey guys. Okay, so I am doing this from my phone tonight. So hi, how are you? Hi. Um Lionsgate portal, guys. This is amazing. Okay, 8/8 I know is the Lionsgate portal, which was like yesterday type vibes, but also um it's giving that it remains open for like at least a week. Okay, it's giving it might remain open for like 8 days or something like that. But I'm here because I want to talk about it, and I want to talk about the things that well, basically what spirit has showed me. Okay, so I've been meditating. Yesterday, I didn't do a post or anything because I literally spent the whole day meditating. And I was in my own energy because I don't know, I'm greedy for it lately. And I just was like, souping myself up, getting back into my center and just sort of like, basically just being within my one core unity vibe. And it was amazing. And I hope you guys had an amazing day yesterday. But I want to talk about the Lionsgate portal and how actually the Lions Gate, how it sort of showed me a map of how consciousness moves energy into creation. Okay. And mm, mm, let's just go with how I started. And I started by knowing that the Lions Gate is 8/8, right? And so 88, of course, you know me, elemental goddess. um, Everything is elemental. Okay, everything is elemental, dear Watson. But anyway, I was like, what is the 88th what's the 88th element? And of course, what is it? It's radium, okay? RA, radium. Let me show this to you, okay? Look, I made this today and I printed it out. And I wanted to show you that on the Royal Society periodic table of elements, with every single element, they also have a picture that goes along with it, okay? And it just so happens that the picture that goes along with the element radium is this. That is a golden paintbrush, darling. What does a golden paintbrush do but render the reality for you? Okay, this is a rendering tool. Okay, so if that is so, I kept going with this. So this is the number 88. Okay, 88 is definitely two infinity loops. Okay, if you think of an 88, right? So the atomic number of 88 makes two infinity loops. And interestingly enough, the atomic mass, like the Mars, it's the relative atomic mass, okay? So the RAM of radium is actually 226, okay? Now, my brain works interestingly, like, because when I saw the 226, I immediately knew what that meant. I was like, oh my God, it's literally showing you that two cycles of 26. And what is a cycle of 26? But the alpha, like the alphabet. Okay. And so the alpha and the omega, or the A to the Z, 126 string of letters creates an entire like full cycle. So interestingly enough, 226 is 88. And it literally is showing you that there's two cycles here. Okay. All right, where am I going with this? Interestingly enough, radium, um, and with the golden paintbrush, they say on the website is because radium was used back in the day to make luminous paint. And everything in this world is coded for us to understand. Okay. So, uh, radium must illuminate something or it must do something like that, right? Um, so, okay. All right. I had this like it's so funny because I like did I was been like I have a whole presentation set up, but then it's like my brain is so not presentation like. So we're gonna go a little bit all over the place here. All right. But this information is important. Okay. So that's a little tidbit about the 88. And the Lionsgate portal happens to be 88. Now let's look at the name Lions Gate in and of itself. Okay. I wrote down a whole bunch of this stuff here. Okay. So, the Lion's Gate, if you look at it, okay, I have this really cool thing that I got. And we're live, so we can just kind of like take our time here. We're chilling. But let's write out the word lion. Lion. Okay, you see that? Lion. Rawr. Okay. But the lion, oh my gosh, 33 in the oh now there's 36. Okay. The L, when you rotate this, becomes a 7. And if you keep the ion, okay, the 7 ions, all right? Ions is interesting because the ions are charged energy moving, okay? So we are charged energy moving. So this is just showing us, and then also the 7 and then an eye on. So 7 eyes on, 7 eyes turned on. And then you get what I like to say is the L and the 7. So the L and the 7 become a doorway, and the doorway is the heart. So essentially, everything is leading us back to the heart. Okay. And this is sort of like my whole thing. The reason why all this matters, and I'm going to show you a lot more connections, but the reason why all this matters is because, like, why? This is cool connections, but who cares, right? Well, let me tell you, there's something important to know here that I realized and that I was shown. Look at this, magnetized, magnetizing some scissors to this. That's a symbol for someone. Got to be careful what you magnetize to yourself. But anyway, you basically are a magnet, okay? Your heart is a magnetic vortex. It's an electromagnetic vortex, and it's used to render your reality, okay? So essentially, I wrote this down, and it was like in a real nice way that I made this understandable. But I wrote this down, and it's basically this, that heart rate plus emotion plus the focus of your attention equals rendering power in this game. Okay. So your heart rate, which is your vortex, which is your your gateway, if you will, plus your emotion. Okay. So whatever you're feeling inside, plus your focused attention renders the reality. So essentially, we live on a huge gridded system, right? So you are an electric being that has been coupled to the gridded system of what we call the earth. Okay. You are basically eyeballs, a brain, and then a bunch of neurons that like feed the other parts of the body to keep it moving so that it can ambulate. But you are actually an energetic, like nervous system. But I don't want to say nervous because you're not nervous, but your nerves are the thing that is like feeling everything, okay? So energetically, you're coupled to the earth, all right? The earth is a grid. So if we know now that our attention plus our heart emotion plus our heart rate and all of that and how it gets focused is the rendering power in the game, think of things like the Super Bowl. Do you know what I'm saying? And how that could actually create um, an ability, like essentially like whoever has access to the most rendering power, if you will, like gets to render what's happening. So essentially, I should have made this much shorter, like so it was more understandable for me, like to like I have so much stuff. Like it's like I have so much stuff in my head and I just like I can see it all. Kind of like if you ever watched that movie where he like made the atom bomb or whatever, that's literally my brain and I it's hard for me to like funnel it down into understanding because actually like to speak because actually everything is energetic. But um when I try to, then I'm just like I whatever. You know what I'm saying? I wrote it down in such a nice way. Okay, just give me a sec here. Yeah, okay, so this is kind of what I wrote. Like, essentially, that um, if the heart rate plus specifically focused emotion equals rendering power in this game, then the control of the airwaves, right? Would represent control over one of the most valuable resources imaginable, which is collective focus and collective rendering power. Okay. So think about the massive live events like a Super Bowl or something like that, where millions of people are looking at essentially the same images at the same moment. Their heart rates rise, right? Anticipation builds, music, repetition, rivalry, fear of losing, excitement, all this stuff. It's all directed towards selected symbols and narratives. And then in the reality that we live in, it becomes a real question like, who chooses what everyone is looking at while all of that emotional energy is activated, right? So, yeah, it's kind of like interesting. But the connection between radium, okay, radium is 88. And then we're going to get into something interesting here because have you guys heard of like Ytterby, Sweden? I think it's like right near where they have CERN, right? Interestingly enough, yttrium, which is the Y, it's the Y, is also represented by this on the Royal Society of Elements, right? And what is this? This is a satellite dish, and this is things being sent out through the airwaves, and this is like the Looney Tunes in the background, right? So imagine these two things together create things, right? So it's almost like what came first, the chicken or the egg? Did something like a mass pandemic actually happen? Or did the airwaves tell us what to render into the earth and then we did that without thinking? So essentially, my whole reason for having this video right here is that we like to explain that we are sort of being used in a way. To create a reality that is not serving us. Okay. And we're doing this sort of mindlessly. And so, my whole goal here is to bring awareness to this so that we can gain our power back and then create what it is we want to create. Okay. So, interestingly enough, yttrium is the 39 and yttrium is three nines. Okay. What is a nine but a cycle? So a nine turns into the six and the six turns back into the nine. So you have 69. So think of it as like a flux capacitor. Okay. So, and interestingly enough, if you watch Back to the Future, the flux capacitor looks like a Y. Okay. And three currents are meeting at the central junction and producing continuous movement. And that movement is represented by the six and the nine. So the 3 6 9s. Interestingly enough, look at this. The relative atomic mass is 88. So it's directly related to radium. These things are connected. Okay. So yttrium. Oh, interestingly enough, also Ra is the sun god, right? Illuminating. It's illumination. Okay. So this is sort of like what you put your focused attention on becomes the creation. And when you amplify it with the frequency of the heart, it becomes much more rendering power. Okay. So yeah, this is like how we've all been sort of, I don't know if you want to say manipulated, but whatever. Okay. Anyway, so basically, I'm going to just read sort of like how I came to this. So, the Lion's Gate is a map of how consciousness moves energy into creation. To understand the gate, I began with the three nines, which is the relative atomic mass of yttrium is 88, and the symbol Y. Okay. And interestingly enough, with the symbol Y, let me show you what happens because everything is connected and it's all connected back to Saturn, if you will. Okay. So in the heart, the first thing that's created in the womb, the first thing that's created is the SA node, SA. And then we know that the heart is a vortex. So the SA node turns the heart. Okay. See how we just wrote Saturn? The SA node of your heart creates the spin of the vortex, and this turns things for you. Okay. So Saturn, is this backwards for you guys? Whatever. Saturn is representing the pattern of your heart. Okay. Interestingly enough, and yttrium is a Y. Okay. And your heart is a resonator, it's sending out a signal. Okay. So your heart is literally sending out a frequency. So if you have a Y, I'm going to draw it for you. Okay. The Y becomes the actual cube of Saturn. So you can easily make it into a cube like this. See how it's a cube? So the Y becomes a cube. And then if you know at the top of Saturn, it has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has a hexagonal um, storm at the top of Saturn. How in the frick can something that is natural and whatever like create an actual hexagon storm at the top of a planet? That, have you ever seen anything like that on Earth? No, they show us how storms go and that they're just like circles and whatnot. You know what I mean? So this, there's a symbol there, it has to mean something. And then when you go even deeper into it, Saturn, and it's like the cube, right? um you kind of like link it to the cube, right? And the cube is this. So Saturn, it's turning, you're turning the wheel. And interestingly enough, when you combine your top Taurus field with your bottom Taurus field, you get a third thing. And this is like the Lion's Gate, merging the two together. You get a third thing, which is the star. Oh shit. Wait, not that star. That's us. But you get the Star of David because you have like your 3 points and then your 3 points. And when you merge them together, they become the cube in the center. And the heart is the way out. So to control your heart frequency, to control your emotions, this is like the key to the game, okay? To like understand how the energy works in this reality, okay? Also, just the name Lionsgate, like I said, the seven ions. And then if we go with the G, the gate, a G, look how I draw a G. Okay. I draw it like this. See how it looks like a spiral? So this is really showing you that the G is the turn. So the G is turning the 8, the gate. Okay. So Lion's Gate is it's like a remembrance to sort of like realize that you are the one uh, that has the control. Okay. And not to mention the G turning and then 8, ATE. We could say that that's like you eat something. Okay. I guess. But really, um, the AT, the At, and the 3 is the Atman. Okay. So you get a gate to Saturn. You get a gate to your own pattern, your own Saturn pattern when you merge the above with the below and you create your third thing, which is actually the heart. Okay, and then the heart becomes the power station series, like it becomes like the power station that sort of like turns. Okay, it turns the wheel. So yeah, it's all about getting back into the heart, basically, is as simple as that. And also the fact that our emotion plus our focus creates rendering power in this game. So now think of all the people that just watch the news, watch this, like they're unconsciously creating something that doesn't serve our whole collective. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of sucks, but whatever. Anyway, I feel like I wanted to go have this go way smoother, but I feel like you're getting the gist here. And if I go over things more than once, I'm like really sorry. But yeah, this stuff is like important because this is actually the reality and how it works. This is why we're here. Like you'll see a lot of other channels like telling you things, whatever, but like I want us to understand how to actually embody them so they can become our own like power moving forward. Okay. So with that being said, yeah, what was I gonna say here? I want to pull cards and stuff for you guys. Um, but basically I think I kind of gave you all like the connections, how like yttrium, right? And then there's another thing with the whole CERN thing. If they understand sort of how this reality works, and then they're creating a thing that affects the grid, sort of like a giant heart, what's that gonna do? Do you know what I'm saying? So, it's good to know this stuff. All right. There's like an actual reality that is happening to the flow of things and all of that. So, yeah. Yeah. So, like, essentially, it's a whole bunch of stuff. And it's just like they should be teaching us this stuff in school. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they should be teaching us like how we are actually the ones rendering our own reality and how to do that, you know? And but that isn't going to sort of like help us, you know? Anyway, I feel like I wish I could have done that better. Why am I like doubting myself? It's not that. It's just that I want you guys to really understand like how my brain works and that you see like what I'm putting down here. Do you know what I mean? Um, but yeah, so essentially like 88 miles per hour in that movie means time travel. Okay. So if 88 is the time travel, then 88 is like giving rendering power because time isn't real. It's like always here right now, but energetically, you can get to the past and the present I'm sorry, the past and the future in the right now. If you're able to open up a portal or a gateway to like get there. Okay. And if we can open up portals with our hearts, plus our emotion, plus our focused energy, then that's a huge like magic reveal. Okay. And yeah, it's a thing to sort of like understand. And I feel like sometimes like this like information and this like sort of like downloaded things are sort of like I like to share them and stuff, but ultimately it's like I guess until you sort of like see it for yourself, it might just be kind of like, hearsay type vibe or whatever. But yeah. Okay. So yeah. Mhm. Yeah. That's basically the connections that I was getting with the Lionsgate. Um Essentially, yeah, right? So if you guys have anything to add to that ever, let me know because this is yeah, we are energy processors 100%. 100%. And yeah, like it's essentially like the airways cannot supply the meaning for you unless your attention participates. So they can present an image, they can try to provoke emotion, and they can establish rhythm and repetition, but the final focusing mechanism is inside the individual. So awareness returns to your own self when you actually know that and own that. So it's like always a reclamation of your own power source, okay? Instead of like sort of like giving it outwards to whatever you're looking at, it's like knowing that you are the ultimate source, okay? Yeah. All right. I don't know. I'm like feeling, interestingly enough, um I have like a whole like, yeah, I think I told you that like the cube, the hexagon. I mean, it's like, oh, and here's another thing. You know how Saturn has rings? Okay. It's almost like the rings around Saturn are like your discourses, okay? Or the sufferings that you're like attached to, okay? I like to call them the suffer rings. Well, when you get that third thing and you can come out of the hexagon chaos field or whatever in Saturn, you can look and you have a bird's eye view, which interestingly enough, the god Ra is an eagle-headed god, right? So if you are able to ascend with the radium frequency, right? The 88, the Lionsgate portal, and you move up, you're able to see then the cycles before you, and then you can sort of like learn from the pattern, attain the pattern, and then shift it however you want. And I feel like this is sort of why maybe celebrities or things like that sort of like worship Saturn. It's not, maybe it's not because they want to control everyone else. Maybe it's because when you get control of your own Saturn and you travel through what you would consider like the Lion's Gate, which is seven eyes turned on and then gated through your heart and turned back in on self, right? It's giving that this is what gives you the ability to manifest your own reality. Okay. So you actually get the keys to the kingdom, and these keys have always been like energetic ones that we have sort of been outsourcing to whoever owns what, Ted Turner? I don't fucking know. Okay. And interestingly enough, that show Ted, there's like a show Ted, and it's about a bear that can talk. I think you guys would probably know what I'm talking about. But there was a show on, and they did one of these episodes. Can't remember the season or whatever, but it was like super coded. It was like, I don't know, season 3, episode 17, something like that. And in this, uh, for like 2 episodes or 3 episodes, they kept talking about Monster Mash. Okay. Um, the Monster Mash and how the Monster Mash is, I don't know, but basically they kept bringing it up. And when you get to a certain point of like, I don't know, psychic awareness or like connectivity to like what's happening in this reality and sort of how the code speaks, I was able to decipher that in a scene in Ted, the main character, I can't think of his name, John or something like that. He's like, no, seriously, see, we've been thinking we've been doing Monster Mash this whole time for real, but we haven't actually been doing it. Like basically, he said that. Long story short, it's like the elites or whoever the fuck you want to say have been thinking that they've been doing Monster Mash for real, but really we've just been in a simulation, and pretty soon we're going to be able to go into an actual reality where we can play that for real. But the thing is that in that reality, it's like you can only get there through unity, through union of the two. Okay. So like we wouldn't fight, like it's like we don't let the monsters fight. Okay, the monsters all play together in the unity realms. All right, so yeah, I should I wish I could show you guys that scene because it's so like telling. Like everything in this reality is literally pointing you to the same thing, that we're here to like learn and grow, but also we are here as energetic beings to sort of like attain the ability to get better at regulating our frequency. Okay. And then this creates our ability to like render. And if you have a large heart space and you're able to hold a lot of that light because you've connected the above with the below and you've created that third thing, um, you are the seven ions, if you will. Because, when you draw that, like, what is Lionsgate, right? You have these things. So, say, like, you have, like, these like represents your chakras, right? And then this is like your lower chakras or your upper chakras, whichever one. And then these are like your lower chakras or your upper chakras, right? You've gotten them all together. This is a chakra. Each chakra is literally an eye. Okay. So it's a portal, it's a doorway, it's a thing that lets energy flow through. And then the seventh thing is the heart that creates the doorway, and it's the 7 7, the L, and then the 7. And this is the center, the lion's gate. Lion, you have 7 eyes on. So this gets you through and shows you the Saturn pattern of the 88, which is the looping cycle, which interestingly enough, if you have this right here, right? And you have this right here. Don't you see that this is actually an 8, right? So if you merge them together, you create the third thing, which is like a gateway, okay? So yeah, everything is about you and you having to learn this stuff, grow this stuff. And how do we do this? How do we get into our heart? This looks like self-reflection, learning and growing, increasing compassion. And like the bigger your heart space is, the more rendering power you have in this game, especially if you have it focused. Okay. And so this is why people who would be considered star seeds, we're all star seeds, because what does a seed do? It grows into a plant. So if a star is a seed, then eventually it's going to fully grow into an actual star. So it's a seed, but then it becomes a star. And what is a star? It's a sun. And the sun is the thing that is a full-blown fucking star. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and then it guides the planets around us. So your star is the center, it's the G, it's the heart, and then you guide the stuff around it. Okay. You're creating your own solar system. Like I've always said, we're here in a 7 discourse realm, right? So you have 7 disc courses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the seventh is the center. So 7 rays of light. You know what I mean? And uh yeah, 7 rays of light, 7 things like that. So yeah, it's giving, this is what's up. So the Saturn rings or the suffer rings, are the energy continually traveling the same course in a repeated fashion until awareness allows energy to leave the old course and establish another one. Do you get what I'm saying? So we're here to grow and learn, here and grow to learn. It's like I've always said, like you're building your caterpillar and then it turns into a butterfly, right? So if you start like sort of like not like taking the emotion out of everything, but when you start to just look at things for the pure code and what they might actually mean beyond like there's pedos in Hollywood or there's this or that, like you're going to start to see that this whole reality is an energetic system that's teaching you to become sort of like not maybe like a master of energy, but like to be able to work with the energies and orchestrate them. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're here to learn and grow, babe. Here to learn and grow. And so this means every single person that you come in contact with, every single thing you ever come in contact with is there to simply help you reflect on this issue, this realization, and then learn and grow from it. Okay. So that you can have your own golden paintbrush and you can create your reality instead of getting the airwaves from external sources that come on in and tell you what to render. And then we have things like um wars and all that other BS. Okay, like we need to get our power back. And so the more that we sort of like tell everyone what's up with this, uh and how it works and how we are being used, um, you know, we are going to get our power back and we can render something better, right? Don't we want to render something better than what has been put before us, where we think that we're all separated? They've like taken our power away from us and outsourced it. And who is they? I mean, I don't know, but if you think about the word disconnected, it's like you become disconnected. So it's like you come out of your heart and then you become connected to discs. And these discs are courses that teach you so that you can learn and grow who you are, and then bring all that information and gnosis back into your heart, balance it, and then move through portals with higher understanding and awareness of self. Okay. And yeah. So yeah, that's what I get when I get like the Lion's Gate. It's like this is what it really means. It's teaching us how energy um is how we actually render things in the game. So if you're meditating and you're in your heart center and you are focusing all of your energy onto something, you have a higher ability to make that an actual thing in the grid of the world than if you're just kind of going through and whatever. So um yeah, this is why people, when we say, oh, well, you're a grid worker, this is what it means. We're on an energetic grid, and your power is your ability to render new energies into the grid. And when we say, oh, you are really like bringing in certain energies into the grid, true. What energies are you bringing though? Is it like balanced energy? You know what I mean? Or are you just rendering more stuff into the grid that is like being told to us to like keep creating like chaos and divisiveness and whatever, right? So it's up to us to sort of like learn the pattern and make order out of chaos, if you will. Yeah, essentially it's like the idea of how do elements work? Everything is an element, right? Everything is building upon oxygen, everything is building upon hydrogen, everything is building upon helium, everything is building upon nitrogen. And how do they build upon it? They add more electrons, and this creates higher geometry, and this creates higher complexity, and this creates more elements. Okay. So we're always doing that. We be the builders, and this is the builder realm. And so if we're in the builder realm and we're working with dark and light, which really there is no dark and light, they're just there to contrast each other. They're on the same spectrum, because over here you have dark, over here you have light. And when you put them together, what do you get? They void each other out, right? So essentially, they're there to create the contrast so that we can learn and grow through the contrast and know more about ourselves. And when I was meditating earlier, I was like hearing that um we are the field experiencing itself through many different like stargate portals, if you will, which is just like you're a portal. You are the one that is rendering this game, okay, through your own essence, if you will. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. Okay. So, we talked about the yttrium being 39, and this is the fork junction, the multiple pathways meeting at the central point, and how the Y is actually a dimensional axis. It creates the cube. The cube is the Saturn, the structure, the manifested space time, right? And the cube is also the hexagon. I showed you how that was with the Star of David. And the cube and hexagonal geometry visually echo one another through projection. So, two opposing interpenetrating triangles create the hexagram, and the hexagon in the center, Saturn's North Pole, literally contains its famous atmospheric hexagon. Symbolically, opposing currents organize themselves around a center. Okay. So, I told you about the Saturn rings, the Suffer rings, and essentially, when we attach to something and we keep a pattern going and we refuse to learn from it, then we are elongating our sufferings and just keeping the sufferings going. Okay, so when you finally like kind of like rise up into that third thing, which is your heart, right? And you come up out of Saturn and you look down, you can kind of see how the pattern goes, and you're like, oh, okay, I don't really like that, so I can shift it, and this is where all the power lies. All right. So yeah, yttrium is a bridge to radium, which I showed you. And yeah, so yeah, yttrium is a bridge to radium. Yeah. And then I showed you, hold on. Yeah, the bridge, turn, reorient, the A, G spiral, center, SA node. Like literally, this is how I write. This is how my brain like sees it all, like this. Okay. I think I showed you this, but this is sort of how my brain works. Like it shows me the connections, and then, but I'm like, what does it mean? Like for the reality, I get that all this stuff is connected, and what is the, and it's literally showing how we manifest the reality in space time. So if you think of your heart, right? Like I said, it spins the vortex, and then the vortex starts to sort of like guide the flow of everything else based on the focus of awareness. So this is like important. The more we understand that this is the way that the reality works, that it literally comes from our rendered hearts, like our energy being rendered and downloaded into the grid, the more we can sort of rise above the pre-given programs, right? And that's another thing. Isn't there some sort of like a Bible verse about the prince of the airwaves? And how it's something bad or something like. Let's look this up really quick. The Prince of the Airwaves, isn't it like PRIN or the Prince of the Air? Yeah, in the Bible. Okay, let's read this. The phrase "Prince of the Power of the Air." Do you see that? Prince of the Power of the Air, the airwaves. What is this? This is freaking yttrium. All right. This. Do you see how this is the airwaves coming out? So if somebody has the power of that and all of our attention and focus is going on to it, whoever has that power or control literally writes down or dictates what is rendered into the game. So we've been rendering someone else's idea of reality for far too long because it goes against the actual truth of what we want, which is connection, communion, community, to be seen, to be heard, to actually like sit down and be with someone instead of always like thinking of a clock and being like, well, I don't have much time for that, so we got to like move on, whatever, like no, like people want to like be with it, and so, oh my God, they literally said that Satan is the prince of the air. Hello. Like, I mean, come on. This shit's so obvious. Okay. So this is how our reality can show us the truth of things. So if we have a whole bunch of people coming into our brain, oh my God, and also I saw this. So you know how like back in the day a TV had like rabbit ears like this? That was the antenna. Okay, so how this works, all right, is that every single radio frequency, every single wave that comes into this reality, whether it be like a microwave or a radio wave, it all has to do with how much time or space is in between each crest. Okay. So, and that equates to a certain diameter of actual reality. Okay. So, the little antennas had a ball at the end of it that would pick up, that was the exact size of the radio frequency that it wants to pick up. Okay. So if our brains are antennas, then we need to learn how to tune in to a different frequency. And this is where we can sort of like go above and beyond sort of like mind control. Okay. this is what it's giving. And so the prince of the power of the air, which is Satan, does not want you to know this because they aim to divide and conquer, if you will, from what we've seen in the past. And what is the devil but Hasatan, whatever? Hasatan means accuser in Jewish, in the not the Kabbalah, in the Hebrew. Hasatan means the accuser, and you can only have an accuser if someone believes that they are separate from the thing they are accusing. Okay, so judgment equals separation. Um, under seeking understanding equals communion and growth. So if I'm sitting here judging another person, then I'm just separating myself and I'm projecting whatever ideologies or programs I already have going instead of like seeking to understand and grow. I'm literally judging them. So, and that means I'm an accuser. So that means I'm a Hasatan. That means that I am going against the true self, which would be a balanced heart, unified, central source that is only seeking through curiosity to learn and grow. So every single thing then it comes up with, it's like, oh, that's another extension of me because we're all gridded, we're all connected. You're connected to every single thing you ever see because everything is energetic. Everything is energy. It's energy. It's energy. It's energy. 9:22 on the timer. Energy. So if I'm energy and you're energy and we're in the same coupled field, then this means that my energy is directly going to relate your energy. And if I focus my energy, this is what I create. And if you now have millions of people focusing their energy to create something, and if they're putting like subliminal things into these things that we're going to create, uh, like think of the Simpsons. Okay, how many times did they show us 9/11, 9/11? Like they'll show us things and then all of a sudden it's almost like we're a big experiment. They want to see, can we get them to render a thing? And we rendered it. We rendered uh I don't you know what I mean? I don't I'm just saying, it seems like what comes first, the chicken or the egg? What comes first is the vision, is the thought, is the energy focus, and then it gets it gets grounded in. And if we um our emotions are like a huge part of it. And this is why I think that like school does not teach emotional regulation. In fact, it teaches conformity, right? And if people do not conform, then they're isolated, right? And so essentially, the way to unity is actually individualization. So if everyone holds space for everyone to be their own authentic self and then accepts it and seeks to understand it instead of judge it and ostracize it, then we can move into actual unity where we can like live in a positive energy flow, where it like exponentially builds upon itself instead of the dog eat dog, like astral realm of like the dead, if you will, where it's like one energy vampire after another. You know what I mean? And it's just constant energy exchange and transaction instead of building upon as like growth and love and like, adoration. And that's the whole thing. The A door is your heart. Okay. Like your heart upside down looks like an A. So yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Okay. It's like, do you see this? See this heart right here? If I turn it like this, it looks like an A. So your heart is the adore, it's the adoration. Your heart is the most important thing. And so no wonder we have people in our world sort of like Elon Musk is like, your brain, you're just a brain. Okay, I get that, but like the real actual thing that gets it going is your heart. And your heart is the thing that is connected to the beyond realms, because what else keeps your heart going every single, they'll say, oh, it's because you have a certain amount of electrolytes in your system and all that. Yes, but in the womb, when the energy happens, they don't understand it. They don't understand how the sperm goes into the egg and something magical happens and then life happens. It's the connection to the grid. Okay? So the grid is what is literally providing us sort of like the life, and um our consciousness is electrical in nature. Like it has to be. And this is why, we're like self, we're the five pointed energetic life force. Um, yeah. And it's interesting because you have two halves of your brain that you need to like balance together, and then you have two halves of like your sexuality that you would need to like balance together. So you have like the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and these things when merged together become something whole. Okay, it becomes whole, and a holy. Like, the WHOLE, but also HOLY. It becomes the whole Y, right? Because you become the Y. Okay, that's a lot. All right. I mean, thanks for that dissertation. Thanks for listening to that dissertation. Let's get into some cards to see what's up with you guys. Okay. That was the Lionsgate thing. I'm actually going to make like a video for like my channel, and I'm going to make it a little bit more succinct so that this thing can be like understood a little bit easier. And I'm gonna have I'll be putting like like things up on the video so that like it's a little bit more understandable, but what. All right, so I'm gonna light this for you guys because I love you, and thanks for being here. It's giving that some of you, or one of you at least, I don't know, you have to let me know, you are in a place on this earth that is like really cold, because I'm getting like a freezing, like it's like really cold. So you're somewhere where it's winter right now. I'm in Pennsylvania. So right now here, this is summer here. So it's kind of hot around here. Um Around here. Sorry, I just thought of that song. But yeah. All right. Darn it. See, my things never stay lit good. Stay lit. Lit, living in trust. Shouldn't even say that. My things always stay lit. They always stay lit. Okay. I love to smoke. It's just so amazing. In the chat, if you love to smoke, drop a unicorn. You know, I'm a neurodivergent person, and I've noticed that if you've noticed, like through this whole video, I'm kind of like, that's me when I don't have any sort of like, I feel like marijuana sort of like grounds me into this reality instead of sort of just being like, you know what I mean? Other than just like pure meditation, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know. Anyway, spirit, come through for the highest best good of all of those tuning in right now. What message do you want to bring through here with these beautiful cards? What do they need to know right now, spirit? What's up with this? Ooh, the Knight of Cups. Oh, what? Okay, okay. So the Knight of Cups coming out. Is this the future of romance? I just heard bromance. It's giving, I mean, you might be, it doesn't matter, but it's giving like maybe right now, recently, you have, you might be a male. I don't know, but it's giving that you might have, oh, they're saying you might have refallen in love with like your brother. Okay, and not in a weird way, but it's like, there's like giving maybe you guys have sort of like, it's giving your baby brother. It's like maybe you guys are back together, if you will, or have like sort of reconciled some sort of separation. But also, I'm going to get some more information because For some of you, this is like somebody flying in with some kind of like a love offer. And know I don't love to like be like looking to the external that much, but like this is you also. Like no one's going to come in and give you a love offer unless you inside yourself are like manifesting a love offer to happen. So you know that this is something that's like in your energy that you want to happen. Okay. The Knight of Cups coming out with the Page of Wands. Ooh. I mean, okay, so the Page of Wands, let me show you these. These cards are kind of cool. I don't know if I showed you this first one, but the Knight of Cups and then the Page of Wands. Do you see how she like oh my god, this is what they're telling me. Somebody's coming in with a cup of love to help you with whatever you are starting. So, you are starting some sort of a creation that is fully heart-based, okay? And this person is coming in to offer you a cup of love to sort of like help you traverse the mountainous range that is this new beginning for you. Um, yeah, it's like this person is going to help you understand and know more to make whatever you're doing like that much more successful. Okay. Tell me more, Spirit. This is great. This is great news. This popped right out. The Hermit. Ooh, okay. Well, right away, it's giving that you guys have already connected in like the astral realms, if you will, which is really like it's giving you guys are on the same heart frequency. Oh, and I totally uh the whole like bunny thing, the white rabbit thing, I totally like, I don't know, but I wanted to tell you that like, no, yeah, yeah, that's what it was. Like the white rabbit is the rabbit ears. So it's like follow the white rabbit. It's like basically follow the frequency. So you're going to know in your body if when you're watching something or you're in what interacting with something, if it's like of high vibe or not. And they're saying, trust that. Okay, 100% you're going to know. Trust the intuitive nudge you get when it comes to certain things that you are interacting with. Okay, 9:33 on the timer or the actual clock over here. So yeah, we've been here for an hour. But two things with this hermit card. It's giving like two things. Are perfectly satisfied in your own energy. Okay, it's giving that you are like a healed person who uh is like fully activated in their heart and like is definitely resonating on a frequency that has all seven eyes turned on, and you're definitely mastering your Saturn pattern. Okay, and so this is the energy where now spirit is coming along here to show you that you're not the only one. Okay, oh my god, look what I just saw. Look at this on this cube right here. This is so interesting. First of all, this is a cube. Oh my god. But look right here. Look, this is what I drew earlier. Do you see this is the 8? Okay, the 8. Oh, everything is connected. You know what I'm saying? It's so amazing. Okay, I'm sorry. I love it that like I just see stuff like that and I'm just like, wow. So, yeah, and interestingly enough, the 8 and then the 8 together make the 4 C's, which are like the 4 chambers of the heart, which is the full capture of Saturn. And what would be the next dimension above the third, which would be the fourth, which would be quantum, which would make turn this into like a tesseract where it's actually breathing, right? It's going like in and out. If you've seen a tesseract, it's like constantly moving. Okay. All right. So, sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place here, but the Hermit, it's giving that you are about to, I mean, with these two cards, it's giving that you're about to meet someone who has your same hermetic frequency, is what I'm hearing. Okay. So, like your same hermetic frequency. What does hermetic mean again? Isn't that like esoteric or something? Or it's like hermetic wisdom. It's basically what the wisdom that you get when you like meditate, right? The word means completely sealed and airtight or isolated from outside influence. Oh my God, that's you. Okay. You are completely like sealed in your own like hermetic whatever the fuck. And you're ready now because you own it. You don't leak your shit anymore. So it's giving that you're going to meet another person who's like that. And yeah, that's what I'm getting. But in what capacity? It's giving that they want to help you with something that you started. Okay. This is the Three of Wands coming in underneath the Knight of Cups. Okay, so this person sort of has been watching you for a little while. It's giving, because look at this card. See how he has like some goggles type vibe, and he's like looking up, or what are those called? Not goggles, like are they goggles? No, they're binoculars. Okay, he's got that binocular vision. Interestingly enough, he's got the binocular vision, but he's combined the two, so now he's seeing three. So essentially, binocular vision. All right, but whatever. This person has been watching you, and they like what they see. Okay, and now they want to approach with this new cup of love, okay, because they realize that you're on the precipice of something huge, okay. They realize your potential. Finally someone sees your potential, I'm hearing. Okay, like what? You have a lot of potential, by the way, but it's giving that someone sees your potential and is about to come and sort of like guide you. But you guide yourself, and you two also realize that you guys are reflections of the other. So it's like there is no hierarchy when it comes to this connection. It's going to just be like full communion and reciprocity is what I'm hearing. Okay. So under the Page of Wands, oh my God, Seven of Wands. Okay. So this person feels protective over you is what I'm hearing. Okay. Um, yeah. It's like this person just has a soul recognition with you and is protective over you. They want to teach you also how to protect yourself from certain things that maybe you don't see, because it's giving that you really resonate in like this innocent, pure heart. And so, I don't know. Let me get more about this. It's giving that they see your potential and that you're maybe going to get like a lot of offers, okay, or a lot of like people coming towards you, and they want to teach you something about energetic alchemy that you don't already know, so that you can fully stay protected. Okay, that's what it's giving. Yeah, the Hermit, Six of Cups. Okay, this is like a past life connection. Okay, this person is going to make you feel instant nostalgia. It's like you already know. You already know that this person is part of you at another point of the same awareness. Like you already know. Okay, you get a sense. And this is like a gift. You already know. When you meet this person, it feels like a twin. Whether it's a twin flame, I don't know. I think that we probably have, it's definitely like a soulmate, okay, but it's giving like past lives, or definitely you guys, 9:39 on the timer. It's giving that you guys definitely 3:43, I just noticed too on the thing. But it's giving that you guys definitely like pre-planned this before you came into this earth. And it's almost like this other person, maybe you guys were activated at the same time, but definitely this person has been watching you and now knows that you're definitely the one that they have to help. And it also says here, it says the future through the eyes of the past. So they're going to show you the future through the eyes of the past. And it's giving past life. Like it's like they're going to open up some sort of something for you that's going to make your, basically they're going to help you hone your trademark. is what I'm hearing, okay? They're going to help you like fully ground your trademark into the reality so that it grows and flows and leaves something behind for future generations that come so they can also look at your body of work and then add on to it and learn and grow from it. Okay. That's what I'm getting. What else, Spirit? Ace of Cups, of course. Ace of Cups. And this is clarifying the Knight of Cups with the Three of Wands. Okay. So, Ace of Cups. I mean, this is gonna be now, like, it's happening now, okay? Yeah, it also says this card is really cool. It says a thrilling new emotional experience. Also, this is giving like a time capsule. And also, do you know what this is giving? It's giving like, when you go like back in the day, I don't know if this is still like this because I rarely go to the bank. But if you go to the bank and you put like a little thing in there and you clip it in and then it goes up this like it goes up this tube, it goes and it sucks it up, it's giving your bank account's about to fucking blow up. All right, because of this too. Like it's all connected. Your energetic freedom within. There is freedom within. There's freedom without. What song is that? Whatever. Okay, that comes through a few times in these readings, but your bank account is about to like go up and glow up. You're about to glow up, go up. And this person's energy added to your energy creates a positive net creative force that shifts your whole fucking timeline, but it's like giving it's because you chose to do this. So this is all like I'm not saying to put your hope on someone external to yourself. This could just all be you, but it's definitely giving another person. Okay, like it's definitely giving an actual human being that is going to come in and talk to you. Maybe they already have, but yeah, they are about to like help your insight travel to dimensions you have yet to attain. Okay. That's what I'm getting with that. The Emperor. So the Emperor is clarifying the Page of Wands and the Seven of Wands. So this is an Emperor who is coming in to unlock your Emperor, which, by the way, you're already an Emperor, but really to show you how to protect it, okay? And to really resonate in it and to really fucking just live in it and realize that you are the land of milk and honey type vibes. Like your energy is it, okay? Who you are is it. And they're going to show you how to really uh, create that fusion that makes your infinite potential like actually like produce, okay, is what it's giving. They're about to give you a power. It says a power like unto God, okay? And look at that. That's a robot breaking apart a spaceship. Interesting. I've been getting a lot of like about Starship lately. Who does Star Elon Musk does Starship 944 on this thing. Um, you know what this is giving? It's giving that you actually are part of the crew that is going to change the whole game of space-time travel. Okay. And I get that through the breaking of the old system of space travel, which was combustion rocket ships. It's giving you're about to come in here and you are about to shift the whole fucking paradigm what everyone knew about everything. And it's giving you might actually show what gravity is and how to uh control it in a way and become anti-grav, okay? It's like giving your science minded and somehow this is like part of your destination, okay? Your destination is to overthrow old fucking you're here to totally reprogram the grid and your energy, right? And what you're focusing and grounding in now plus the amount of power you have with your heart, combined with the power that this person has with their heart and their fucking intellect and intelligence and experience, is going to create something that is like a power like unto God on this earth. It's like if you went back in time and showed a caveman um a fucking laptop computer, they'd be like, "You're a magical being, right? You're a magical bitch." Well, this is giving that you are unlocking the new energy, the new technology, the new power in this realm because you have attained the true frequency within to do so. Okay? Yeah, that's fucking cool as shit. Okay? It's giving like major chosen one. Okay? Like you're a chosen one, honey. If there ever was a chosen one, you it. But yeah, and that's funny because it is information technology. You are grounding in the information through your clear channel that is then going to be the change for the technological reality and how we sort of like even do physics. Okay? Oh, this is what I mean, the devil upside down. See this? The devil upside down. Okay, I'm covering that because I don't even know. Saw a little bit of rear ends there. But interestingly enough, I'm going to show this card this way. It's a woman and a man looking into a computer, right? And I don't know. It's just giving, this is the devil card, and it says major well, number 15, and then it says, man, I wish I could go like this and make it bigger. I need to get those glasses that has like the reader portion on the bottom. Yeah, so I have to make an appointment to do that. But in the meantime, it says a machine perfectly engineered for enslavement. Oh my God, we can't even make this shit up. This is why I picked this deck too, because you're overturning this. You're overturning the slave mind system, which is what I've been talking about in this whole fucking video. How we have been used for our energetic, creative power to render something that we don't even like, and it fucks with us. So you're here to overturn this, and this person, this connection that you have with this person and your energetic uh field, a vortex field that is created together, is literally over like throwing the old system, and like I said, bringing in the new power that is unto God, but for everyone. Okay? You're about to blow the top off of some major fucking ish. And that's interesting because the ish that I'm talking about today, I'm going to be talking about it more and more in my videos. There's like so many links and everything. um but this is also blowing the top. Like what I just showed you guys today literally blows the top off of some major ish. Because if we have been unknowingly creating something, right? In the reality, hello, we need to get that mental awareness back and then realize that we can create something different. Okay? And there too, maybe that is why they worship Saturn, because they know they have the lock and the key on the programmed minds. Okay. Because really, this is like mind control. And so, if you can jailbreak the system of your mind control, you can then have power over your own rendering fucking corpus, if you will, which is your body. Okay. Let me have a little slush of this. I love blue slushies, and I know like it's so much sugar and stuff, but I don't know. Everything in due time, okay? Um, yeah. Okay. So, spirit, give me some more info. The Page of Cups coming in with the Ace of Cups. Okay, interestingly enough, um this person might do like fly fishing, where it's like it's giving fly fishing. This person might take you fishing. Um, but also, this person is like a fisher of men, if you will, where this person realizes that you're ready to like pluck, if you will, which is sounds kind of weird, but it's like you're ready to sort of like move to the next level, I'm hearing. And I'm going to show you this card, but I need to get a little bit more. This is also your energy, and like it's giving full energy but supreme, where you yeah, you might be a little bit like footloose and fancy free, but you still have full discernment, and you're smart enough not to get tangled up in someone else's web anymore. And believe me, you've been tangled up in people's webs in the past. Not to mention, it's giving you of like you've like attained your wings. They're blue, so this is really important too. Like God or spirit, whatever you want to call the all that we are, has given you your divine truth, and you're moving forward into this. And it's like the same truth as this person. And I'm also noticing once again this. So the money is going to be flowing to you. Um, yeah. It says Princess Princess Godabi ventures into of Low the canyons of Low and makes a surprising discovery. Okay, so this is what it is. It's like giving that you are part of discovering like new physics. Okay. Um, yeah. So and you could be like, no, the physics is like the fundamentals of this reality, and it is what it is. And it's like, no, it's actually not. Because yeah, those are the physics that are understood, but you're unlocking even more understanding and depth of what this reality actually is. And just like how back in the day we used to put leeches on people and now we don't, certain things like how we understand gravity or what it is going to be shifting, and so that we can actually understand it and then basically like control it and harness it, just like we did with electricity, just like we did with all sorts of things. So gravity is just another like power to sort of harness and then uh fucking manipulate, so that we can use it for our advancement of our species, okay? And that's what you're here to do. The 9 of Pentacles coming out, under the with the Page of Wands, the Emperor, and the protection card. So this is giving me, it's interesting because it says luxury at the end of the world and an oasis of riches to sustain self. So you're definitely self-made, but also it's giving just that your money's going to be like I said, it's blowing up, okay? And God's going to give you enough money to share with others. Also, I really love how this is sort of like 8 and then 1 in the center. And that would make like 18, but also 9. But 18 is the moon card. And it's giving you don't really see how far you've come. But you're about to, and you're about to see it physically manifest too as actual pentacles. Okay. That's what I'm getting there. And yeah, the Queen of Wands coming out, for the Hermit, the Devil reversed, and then the Six of Cups. So this is you, your destination. Essentially, you're going to be your own boss, and this person is going to help you, like I said, ground your trademark into the reality. Okay. It's giving they might have connections because I just saw icebreakers and then I saw ice cube. Okay, so I have this gum, ice cubes, icebreakers. They're gonna help you break the ice when it comes to something. Maybe they have connections to people that can help you change things. I'm seeing 9:55 on the clock here. So it's giving that they're going to be giving you some sort of access to your real ability to change things in your life and ground in certain truths. Okay. Um, Also with the ice cubes. Okay, it's giving me Ice Cube the rapper. Maybe this person's a rapper. I don't know. Um, he had a real rags to riches story. It's giving you might be like a rags to riches story too. Um, just self-made, okay? But you are definitely able to what am I getting with like ice the cubes? Like it's like giving like a freeze ray. Oh man, maybe you're gonna learn how to actually sort of like step actually outside of time and space, if you will. I don't know. It's giving power, okay, somehow. Okay, it's giving power and that you're gonna be your own boss and you're gonna have whatever you always wanted, is what I'm hearing, okay? So if you wanted to have it's giving you might build a compound. I don't know. It's giving you might build a compound with this person or something where it's sort of like a breakaway civilization, or maybe they're part of a breakaway civilization and they're like gonna include you into it. And I don't know, but it's giving like you're having the gates open. And this person isn't a gatekeeper per se, but they're definitely they're I guess you would say initiating you into something. Okay. And it's for you to be your own boss and move with your green sword, your heart sword, but also this is giving Bastet and like just like the cat vibes of like ancient Egypt. So it's definitely that the divine feminine is like for you. Okay? Like you are raising the divine feminine for all of us. And like essentially you're grounding that into the grid, okay? I keep hearing and seeing like magenta. So like the magenta ray is like part of you. Okay. I mean, it's part of all of us, but magenta goes a little bit beyond the seven rays. So it's like you've gone through the gateway to the higher senses, colors, and perceptions. Okay. So they want to make sure you're definitely trusting your perceptions and things. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to get a couple of other cards because I feel like that is like a succinct reading right there. Like that's pretty good. Let's see what else other cards they might want to have bring through here. We're gonna do angel numbers. So they want me to get an angel number for you. Okay, right on the bottom, 411. Interestingly enough, when I was meditating today, um, Spirit led me to meditate to the 411 hertz. Okay. And essentially, this is like a recoding of your root chakra. And the root chakra now, from what I have been seeing through my meditations and all of that, and just knowing my place in this simulation or whatever it is, has been recoded for unity. So the baseline awareness, which is the grounded root of humanity, has been fully covered in the red ray, the red and magenta ray of unity consciousness, is what I'm hearing. So, yeah, there's like no going back to division. Okay. So now you're just going to see everything moving towards unity, moving towards unity. Um, Yeah, like a wave, there's definitely gonna be people that get there first or, whatever, but, as a whole collective, we are ascending out of the delusion and the disillusion of separation consciousness, which leads to, I mean, it's not bad or good. So, it just leads to more chaos, which then we can like use to like build our understanding. And so we've done that. And now we're ready to like turn it into like knowledge and moving forward so that we can build something beautiful together. Okay. Also, this is saying important relationships, and it says see value in those that you love. Um, I just saw 47, like there's 47 of you guys like watching this right now, and that is the element silver. So this is definitely about a reflection vibe, okay? So important relationships. See the value in those you love. You are called to select one relationship close to you and nurture it in an attentive and loving way. Think about how to tell a loved one how much you care for them, appreciate them, and see them in your life. Make time for them today as you communicate how important they are to you. Okay, and then there's another huge aspect of this that I mean, I'm always saying on this channel 10:01 on the timer. So, it's this. It's that every single relationship and every single person you come in contact with is a direct reflection of you. And how you sort of see it has to do with your level of distortion, their level of distortion, and then the connection between the two and the interaction between the two. Okay. But they're there for you to learn and grow from. So everyone is basically your teacher and also your student, like, you know what I mean? So when we would get into that frequency, we'd be able to actually look at other people as something to learn and grow from instead of, like I said, something to judge and like categorize. Okay, so yeah, we're moving into the unity realms, and the fact that I saw the 47, the 1001, it's giving that spirit really wants you guys to know that nothing is outside of you. And so the thing that you like hate is actually something about yourself that you have yet to go within, see, and like deal with. Okay. So yeah, there's that. Next, spirit, what else? Love abundantly. Okay, very cool. 8:55 on the time, not on the timer, on the card. So okay, this is interestingly because an 8, like I said, is like the Taurus field, right? 55 is the number of change. So this is showing that if you love abundantly, you can use your heart to shift the fucking reality in an amazing way. Um, this says donate your time. This is a call to action. Okay. It says the love you have in your heart can be shared with those around you. Where can you demonstrate love to someone who doesn't feel any? Your guides want you to donate some time today to a person or an organization that would benefit from the abundance of love you have in your heart. Sign up for a local beach cleanup. Reach out. I wish. I wish I had a local beach to clean up. I want to live near the ocean, can you tell? I'm manifesting this. Look, let's all use our manifestation power plus our hearts of love and plus our energy focused to get Becky to the beach for a house. We're doing it right now. Okay, like literally ground that in because I want to be near the ocean because of how fucking healing it is and I need it. Okay. So anyway, uh, your guides want you to donate some time. Okay, we got there. We got that. Sign up for a local beach cleanup. Reach out to an elderly neighbor or offer to babysit for someone. Any loving action counts. Okay, so yeah, we love ourselves, but we're also going to be loving ourselves so much that the cup overflows so that we can then share it out into the reality and spread that abundant love and let other people know that we see them. Okay. I had this like download earlier that, like, yeah, we all love love. Okay. We all want to be loved. We want to be loved. But what does that mean? Okay. Love seems like an arbitrary word. And it reminds me of that movie, like Attack of the Martians or whatever, where they're like, love, love. And they're like shooting guns to kill people. It's like, right. And it's giving that idea where, like, oh, we want to live in love and whatever, but then you'll see people that say that they preach love, but then they act in hate. Okay. And so what is love? Love looks like listening to someone, uh having someone, like, actually seeing and spending time with someone, like, really being present with someone equates to love in my mind, okay? Acceptance of other, wanting the best for other and acting on that. This is like what love really is. It's not just a thing to say, although it's beautiful to say it, okay? And we need to like say it so much more and be less afraid of saying I love you. Like I say I love you to random fucking strangers because I know I've been to the center of my heart and I'm a part of everything around here. So why the fuck would I not love it? I do. But someone who has not been there and seen that and is still stuck in the separated ideology of like, I can't love you because everything's conditional and I haven't, bought you dinner yet, or you're not my actual mom or whatever, so I can't love you. Like, that's what we're shifting. Okay. But people that I say I love, they're also feel it because my actions, hopefully, are conducive to what love looks like. It looks like giving them my time, giving them my attention, and actually like seeing them and appreciating them, and also seeking understanding before judging. That is action of love. That is love in action. We need to stop like thinking about things, talking about things, and actually ground this shit into our actions. Okay. And so, yeah, that's what's up. Okay. Romantic relationships. Interestingly enough, like a 5 5s are coming through a lot here. 855, 955. I know I said earlier I saw like 955 on the timer. So, hmm, what are you trying to say with this? Okay, so I'm gonna read it. But it says, so interestingly enough, it says reconfigure your loving connections. You are being asked to change up your way of doing things in romance. Oh, okay. Whether you are single or in a relationship, your angels would like you to take today to reflect and reconfigure how you go about connecting with others. I literally just said this shit. That's so funny. I might be psychic. No, but definitely. It says give yourself a hug right now. Oh, let's all hug ourselves right now. I'm hugging you, and I love you. I love you, Becky. Oh, you're so cute. Okay, and like, I love you guys so much too. You guys are so amazing. Um, so yeah, give yourself a hug right now and feel the love you have within abundantly flow through your whole body and soul. And this is the energetic thing that then starts to shift and leak out into the reality so that we can like change it for the better. Okay. So yeah, this basically is reiterating what I said about like, well, I can't love you because I haven't bought you dinner, I haven't kissed you, all that stuff. No. Change the way you see love, okay? And this is going to help the whole fucking reality, all right? I love that. I love that so much. Thank you, spirit. Anything else? Divine connection, okay? The number 300. Interesting, because the three, we were talking about that earlier. I mean, and the 00 connected is an H, the three eights. It's giving you like octopus. Okay, so here's the thing. Um, octopi or octopuses, I really don't know. But the 3 and the 8 has always been coming around. So if you've been seeing the 38 lately, this is definitely a message for you because octopuses have 3 hearts and they have 8 legs that they can actually like they have their own nervous system per leg. Like it's like a whole brain for it. It's like amazing. Okay. Um yeah, and also if you are coming out of Saturn and you like the 6 is like the 6, like the hexagon, right? And you add 2, that makes it an octagon. And then you can stop. Is a stop sign an octagon? Yeah, you can stop coming back into the third dimension. Okay? And you can ascend and become something more out of the matrix instead of like being stuck to the grid. You can fly high above it. This says divine connection. So the mind, body, and spirit unite. Okay, there we go. That's why the 3 too, right? Mind, body, spirit, they all unite and then they create like your major heart. And it says your angels acknowledge that you have an intense connection to the just kidding. It says Your angels acknowledge that you have an intense connection to the divine right now. The unity of your mind, body, and spirit creates a conduit for spirit messages. Sit in meditation with your hands on your third eye chakra, the center of your forehead, right now. They want you to do it right now. Okay? Repeat this mantra a few times until it begins to sink in. I trust in my abilities. I trust in my abilities. I trust in my abilities. Okay? Because you're divinely connected, honey, and don't you forget that shit. 10-10 on the timer. You know what I'm saying? We are synchronous and we are bringing in the new frequency of this reality, and it's giving you have like extra sensory perception a lot. Okay? Like your senses are on like fire. It's giving you're getting so many downloads, okay? I don't know why, but also I saw like this thing that like Mahjong Boo. Who is Mahjong Boo? That was what is that? Hold on, because like I just spirit just said that to me. Maybe this is something that you guys Mahjong. I don't even know how to spell it. I'm just oh yeah. Okay, okay, this is why. Because Mahjong Boo, I don't know. This person might not be a good guy. He looks kind of I don't know, but Maji, Mary and Jesus inside, BUU, 13UU. It's giving like you're going beyond the 12 to Ophiuchus, okay? So you're going up and out. Um, Interestingly, okay, I don't really know much about it, but it says here that Majin Buu race from weakest to oh no, that's no, that's just like the race. I guess it's a race. Oh, he's an antagonist of one of the main Dragon Balls series. It's Dragon Ball. Maybe you play Dragon Ball or whatever. You watch Dragon Ball? Naruto, is that the Dragon Ball? Um, yeah. But what does he have? What does okay, it says powers and abilities of Majin Buu. This is what it says. Majin Buu possesses nearly unlimited regenerative capabilities. Just like an octopus. An octopus can regenerate its arm. It says allowing him to reform from vapor along with advanced transmutation magic to turn enemies into candy and the ability to absorb opponents to gain their strength and knowledge. So yeah, you're like a magnet. What? And you're like becoming like a sun. If anything gets too close to you, it just becomes a part of you. Whatever. We're all part of each other, but um it's giving Majin Buu, trust your mind, body, and spirit. It said, repeat this, I trust in my abilities. And then Majin Buu happens to be a person who can uh, regenerate unlimited times and he can reform from vapor. And he has transmutation magic skills to turn enemies into candy. Okay. So it's giving that your connection to God and your like essence of being literally just melts all the like fucking like distortion layers, okay? Um, because I know in this there's like good, bad, whatever, but if you turn something into candy, you make it sweet. So you're turning your enemies into something sweet. It's giving that anyone who comes around you, if they don't like you in the beginning, they sure as fuck will because you can't help but win them over because you're literally a positive pillar or like an energetic, full, authentic pillar for the universal uh, one that we all are. Okay. So, and then we all share a part of. So it's like you reflect that divine source to another person so that they feel back home. It's like you give that nostalgia. Okay. All right. Also, this says creative flow. And it says 857. So, creative flow. Your angels are telling you that you are ready. Um, the creative flow of ideas is coming in fast now. So there's a lot being fed to you, and it's not essential that you remember or absorb it all right now. Okay, so this is literally for me because I got all this information like over the past 3 days, and I'm like, I have to present all of it. They all need to know it right now. Oh my gosh, whatever. And like literally, I like put so much pressure on myself. And if you guys notice, whenever I do lives, like I'm like nervous in the beginning, and then I kind of like settle into it. But um yeah, like, and I also saw this thing that said like channel anxiety earlier, so I was like, I know. But essentially they're saying that you don't have to know it all right now. It's going to be there for you whenever you actually need it. So it's like, trust it that it's in your heart, it's been scribed into your heart, and then when you need to draw upon this knowledge, it's going to be there. And this is like, I'm saying this to myself too, majorly, because I think I didn't have to like print out all that stuff and do all that and type out all that stuff or whatever, because literally it was already there. And when I just go within, it flows so much easier than trying to like follow it on a piece of paper. So I learned something about myself tonight too. Okay. And then it says, sit quietly in meditation for a few minutes and write down anything that comes up. This is what I do. Okay. So whenever I meditate, I always have a notepad with me, and I'm always like writing down things that come through. And basically, a lot of it, sometimes I don't write it down and I'm thinking, I should have wrote that down. But they want you to start writing it down and, excuse me, pardon me, continue to write things down throughout the day. So this is kind of what I was doing. Um, but I think I got a little too like about it. I just got really excited. I don't know. So yeah, but this is like, I'll show you my meditation journal. I just started a new one, and it looks like this. So essentially I just like sit down and I just like draw stuff and do stuff when I'm like meditating. You know what I mean? Like, this is my meditation notes, stuff like that. So they want you to be doing that because this is definitely helping you. Look at that. What does that even mean? I don't know. It's something. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot. There's like so much comes through in the meditations. Okay. Um. Yeah. So they want you to do that. All right. It's cool like that. It's cool like that. They want you to be writing some stuff down. All right. And also, you're like really creative. So trust. It's like, stay lit. Living in trust. Okay. So that's me too. Sometimes it comes from like a fear thing where I'm like, I feel responsible, like, I need them to know this, or I need, whatever, and really, it's like, I'm just gonna live in trust, and whatever, like, you need to know or whatever you're gonna know, you will know, and, whatever I have to, like, share forth, however it comes out is just, like, how it's supposed to be, and just, like, let it flow. Do you know what I'm saying? Because 44 of you right now in the timer, okay. So, yeah, it's giving, like, interestingly enough, that's, like, sort of how, like, Moses was in the Bible. So I was meditating the other day and I was like, am I Moses? Like, and this is like, I'm not saying I'm Moses, okay? I'm not saying that. And also, like, Moses was shown the promised land, but then actually didn't get to go there, right? So that kind of blows. But anyway, I'm not Moses type vibes, but I am Moses in a way. Because I have had certain speech impediments, I stutter. Uh, I do have a lisp that, like, I definitely like control, um, and all of that good stuff. And so, I'm always like, why would God want me to be in a position where I'm like speaking to people when that's like nerve wracking for me and whatever? And it's just like, it's the truth that like Moses was like, God said, don't worry, we'll speak through you. You don't have to worry about it. It's going to be okay. Just go there and don't even prepare. We're going to we're going to do it. And as soon as I start to like stop with the preparing thing and I start to just sort of like use cards or just channel, then it starts to flow. And so, yeah, this is a big lesson for me. And so I'll take it. You know what I mean? I love it. We're all learning and growing. That's what's up. And interestingly enough, on the bottom of this right here, it says goodbye. 435. So things I'm getting with this is that, well, it says here that the chapter has ended. So something in your life is over. This is poignant. The present moment requires you to say goodbye. So it's okay to be sad, to mourn what was, but your angels hold you at this time. Repeat this mantra a few times until it begins to sink in. I allow myself to heal at my own pace. Okay. And also allowing yourself to sort of like create at your own pace and just be at your own pace, right? It's like our whole collective needs to like let go of the worship of the clock and just sort of like get into more of like a circadian rhythm about things. I feel like um yeah, but also it's giving like perhaps that this is like goodbye for tonight. Although I don't know. I like hanging out with you guys. Maybe I'll see. Look at this. The universe abundantly supports you. 000. Um, yeah, so just so you know, like you're supported no matter what. Um, yeah, like you're supported. All right. I'm gonna like get a different tarot deck and just see if anything else wants to come through, and we'll go from there. Just real quick, okay? Although this is a lot, I know. I mean, like I gave you guys a lot here. All right, do we want to use the pot tarot? No, I'm going to use this one. Okay. All right, Spirit, is there anything else that you want this collective to know? Anything else, Spirit? Okay. So, okay, so I'm getting the Death card and the Hierophant. So, I mean, this is giving uh, a rebirth into a higher dimension. Like we said, a higher level of understanding, a higher awareness. Interestingly enough, on his shirt, do you see that? That's like it looks like an energetic transformer. But also this looks like a djed. If you look in like ancient Egypt, they have these things in the they're like holding them, whatever. This literally represents your capacitor. It represents your spinal cord. It represents your ability to move energy in your body. It represents your heart, your transformative power. So you have been essentially, your old way is gone and you've been totally reborn into a higher gnosis of like self and other, and just like it's giving you've been born above. Okay. And what is above? I mean, above, below, and it's giving you have definitely graduated this realm and are definitely creating um future versions or higher versions of self, and you're like also grounding those energies into the here and now. Okay, like you've been through a full fucking transformation is what I'm hearing. Like you've been reformed, darling. Okay. um 10:23 on the timer, so it's giving like Freya. Maybe you watch Freya Ray. I like her. But also uh Freya is like the Norse goddess of basically like it's like the mother, okay? And she like, I don't know if she was like married to Odin. I don't really know. I don't know the pantheon that much, but it's just giving you have been reborn and are now recalibrated to the template of the new earth. Okay. So your energetic system is now coinciding with the grid work and the grid of the new earth, which is based in unity consciousness. So it's like you're on the good side. If there was ever a good side or a bad side, but really it's like you've done the energetic work. And so now you're going to sort of like reap the energetic reward. Okay. Yeah. Four swords coming out. This is giving a lot of things, but ultimately it's giving that your dreams are becoming made manifest because you understand that you are the manifester. And Ace of Cups coming out again. So this is giving that your heart, see how her heart is overflowing and it's also swirling in a vortex? Like this is your power and you have full capacity of that. Also, see how she's in like a nest and she's resting peacefully. And even though there might be like some twigs that are like sharp and whatever on the outside, she's like really safe in here and she has her heart. And it's just giving that your heart is a real safe space for you and it's also a safe space for others, mainly because it's been like fully reformed. So that's amazing. Also, you might do pottery. You might have just like done some pottery recently. Maybe you painted pottery, or maybe you like shape pottery, like in the clay, like, in that movie Ghost, where they do the pottery. Um, yeah, also your hands are like magical. I'm hearing you have magic hands. So you have the ability, like maybe you're doing like Reiki or whatever, but your hands are actually, you're starting to understand how to use them for power and healing, creation, all sorts of things. Okay. Seven of Wands. I feel like we're getting like similar cards. So maybe Spirit's just like, that's the mess. No, but the Seven of Wands, you're divinely protected at all times. Okay. And also, it's giving your meditation practice is what is a huge part of why you're protected. Okay. So your direct connect with God. I mean, look at this meditation, heart centered awareness, resting in a peaceful, dreamlike state, and death and rebirth into like pure knowing that you are a reflection of whatever you're looking at. You know what I mean? So essentially, it's giving you are a divine master. What? You're a divine master. Essentially, you're creating your reality now. Okay. 11:22 on the timer that I was actually 11122. So yeah. Um, nice. What else am I getting with this spirit? You might like yoga. Like, do you have like a yellow couch or like a yellow? Oh, okay, this is what I'm getting with this. See how she's sitting on a yellow, whatever that is, a pillow. It's a meditation pillow. So your solar plexus is also fully in line and is moving you forward with a will of like it's like you're moving alongside of the will of like what you would consider like God, okay, or connected to the all source. Like you are moving in a frequency and your energetic power is coming from like excuse me, it's coming from a very balanced place. Okay, so yeah, something about snow globes. Maybe you like snow globes. Okay, they're showing me this like, did you guys ever hear of this show called Saint Elsewhere? So I had like this really weird download about Saint Elsewhere a long time ago, to like go look it up and like the gematria of it and all. And the last episode of Saint Elsewhere is really interesting because you see that the main doctor of the show um, has a boy who's autistic, okay? And he's like, at the end of the show, he's sitting there looking into like a snow globe that he just sits there and stares at all day, okay? But it's the connection between thing he's looking in is like a total picture of the hospital. It's like St. Elsewhere Hospital, right? And this is where his dad works at St. Elsewhere. So it's almost like he's autistic and stares into that all day, but what he's really looking at is he's able to see through the, like, crystal ball or the looking glass. He's able to see what's actually happening at his dad's work. So, it's giving, like, remote viewing, like, before remote viewing was, like, really a mainstream thing, and, what this is basically giving me is that you are having things being unlocked to you that are sort of like that, that are extra sensory, that would be considered magic or whatever, but really it's because you've attained this frequency within that has unlocked DNA codes that are now moving in your divine template that have you basically unlocking things like telepathy, being psychic, divine intuition, claircognizance, what are the other ones? You know, stuff like that. So, and you're gonna know, right? But it's giving like huge unlock that way. Okay. Um, it's giving that you might actually have something unlocking that comes with like scrying. So when you look at something, spirit will just start like giving you information. This happens to me. Okay. So it's almost like you're just really honing your communication with spirit so that you can like really understand your divine gifts and then utilize them for like positive good in this reality is what it's giving. Okay. All that from one, all that from this card. What? Okay. Yeah, King of Cups out here. Look at you. King of Cups. He's kind of hot. Yeah. Your passion you have a lot of passion, and this passion is like now being like arced through your heart. So it's like your creativity, like your manifestation is off the charts. I feel like I'm just becoming redundant now. Like seriously. The high priestess, okay? We already know this. We already know that you're the high priestess. We already know that you're becoming so fucking intuitive and like it's giving like pretty soon there's no veil. You're just no shit, okay? It's like the veil is definitely disappearing. And how would the veil disappear? What would that look like? It would look like there you realize that there is just seamless. So you are seamless with the reality, and all of a sudden, that means the reality is always speaking to you because you're just like full connect. Okay. And this is what's happening. You're getting full connect, fully connected. Not to mention your, okay, see how she has eyeballs? Even though her eyes are closed, there's eyeballs painted there. You can see beyond, okay? So you see a lot even when your eyes are closed. Like it's almost giving you have like you just know it. What's that when you just you feel it, you just know it, that one. You just know shit. You know shit. And like your hairs will be standing up on the back of your neck sometimes when you just know things. Your name might start with an M, an F, an R, a C, or a P. What else am I getting from this, darling? She kind of looks like me. What? It's kind of weird. Look at that. If I take off my glasses. Okay. Um, I don't know. She looks like any woman. Okay, but like, come on. Um, yeah, but do you see how she's like connecting her stars? Like, it's almost like when we're here in this grid, we're also creating our next grid or our next template, okay? So you're basically a master builder, I'm hearing. Yeah. All right. Eight of Swords coming out. Ooh, with the Magician in reverse. Oh, okay. So I was having some of this too recently. If you guys have been feeling a little bit like I'm glad Spirit brought this up because there have been some people, and we don't want to be like accusing and blaming, but let's be honest. There are people out there that don't like your shine, okay? And so they're projecting, whether doing it consciously or unconsciously, they are sending you mirror uh black magic, if you will. Okay. So it's giving that it's a lot of evil eye. It's heavy evil eye, talking badly about you, but also just like wanting to affect your own image of yourself. Okay. So if you have been like looking in the mirror lately and being like, this is just not it, or you've been feeling like some like weird self doubt creeping up, um, this is definitely external projections, but then again, what are external projections but just tests for us to really test our own resolve? So it's giving that you're aware of it. You've been aware of it and you have transmuted it. Okay. Yeah. Um, Three of Cups coming out with the Knight of Wands. So yeah, this is you communing with spirit, finding that frequency of happy, banging your drum for God, if you will, or self, and just being free and loving in your own energy. It's like if whenever you feel doubt, what they want you to do is literally dance. Apparently, your movement is really important. Okay, this is like a huge way you transmute energy. So put on some good energy and just dance and get into that like real celebratory thing. And this like just squashes all of this like negative energy that's being sent to you. See, somebody's trying to make you up in your head about how you look or how you are, or like, you know what? We rebuke that shit. No weapon form against me type vibes, okay? So yeah, no thank you. All right, yeah. And not to mention, I mean, when you transmute this energy and everything, it gives the judgment card, your spirit elevates, and then things that might have been summoned to come and try to like drain your energy will be returned back to sender. And this then becomes like a karmic activation, a reactivation for someone so that they could learn and grow. Because really, we're all here to learn and grow. So, this is why we use something like the Saturn return and the discourses so that we can sort of go through cycles until we start to realize, wait a minute, maybe I'm actually jealous of that person because I feel like I'm lacking. And so instead of projecting hate and wanting them to hate themselves, maybe I should work on loving myself, growing myself, and healing myself so that I can actually resonate in a frequency of like happy shine. Okay. So yeah, that's what's up. All right. So, um, I am getting that this is like, I'm feeling kind of like this is the end of the message. I love you guys so much. So I'm like gonna wrap it up right here. Um, you guys, I do private readings if you want one. My website is www.rebeccasherryartist.com. And I get a little bit more like personal. Do you know what I mean? When we do the readings like that. But when I'm reading for a collective, I more try to stay in like the collective type of energy than like narrowing down to like specific things that are happening. Although sometimes I do, but yeah, so my readings would be, way more specifically guided towards you, if you wanted to do that. I also sell artwork. If you guys ever want to like donate to the channel type vibe right now, certain things are turned off on my channel because I screwed up and clicked a wrong button. It's a whole thing. But anyway, it's going to be fixed soon. But in the meantime, if you guys wanted to like send me a tip or something cool, I have a Venmo. It's at charbinksart, CharbinksArt. And literally, there's no pressure. And if you guys do decide to do that, then may everything you sow into me be returned to you tenfold. Um, and it will be. I was recently seeing something about 10x. Yeah, it's giving that when we love each other and send each other positive energy, it's an exponential growth. Okay, so this is how we actually grow uh abundance as a collective. But when continue to try to like transact and do like this for that, this for that, this for that, we just sort of stagnate. So it's giving that if you give to another human with like an open heart and this energy of like knowing that where my attention and money flows, things grow, then, and we do this to each other, like pretty soon we're just all going to be like fucking majorly abundant. Okay. So that's what I'm getting with that. Also, I have memberships on my channel. I am actually, after this, gonna upload a membership video that I did earlier. Yeah, so if you guys want to check those out, um, do that. I like on the membership videos, I get personal, like I tell personal stories about my life and things, and I get a little bit more like talking about that kind of stuff. So that's like, for like the members, they can have access to like personal things about me. And yeah. So anyway, I love you guys so much, and thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are super amazing. And I just opened this to the Empress because that's you. That's you. The Empress, don't ever fucking forget that shit. Don't ever let anyone take your Empress power away. Don't let anyone use your attention to create anything that you don't want to create, okay? Because we're reclaiming that power. And that's what the Lionsgate portal is all about, okay? All right, I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. Namaste. I have no idea how to even turn this off here, so I'll be chilling while I do this. But yeah, I love you guys like so much. Settings. Oop. I still don't know how to do it. I'm gonna be on live for the rest of the night, guys, because I